Okay, most problems in this section that concern elevation and depression are going to be word problems, okay? And one of the biggest hints or helps that you can do is to draw a picture, all right? It kind of helps you see what's going on. This is an important skill to learn in problem solving. When you guys approach a problem, knowing which tools to use when doing that problem. And in this case, one of the tools that you guys should be able to do is draw a picture based on the stuff that it tells you. So for example 1, I need you guys to draw a picture. In the space below, sketch a picture of a cliff. At the top of the cliff is your friend. Why I don't know. But you can use a stick figure for a person, you know, for the non-artists out there. You are 500 feet away from the base of the cliff looking up at your friend. I don't know what's happening in this situation, but I just need you guys to draw a picture of it. And yeah, I suppose you can use a stick figure if you're still artistic. It doesn't mean that you're not artistic, but draw a picture down there. Alright, so when you draw a picture, you know, I got a cliff right here, I got a person right here, and there you go. And I'm standing right here looking up at my friend. Wow, it's a really big people, or it's a really small cliff. Standing 500 feet away from the bottom of the cliff, because that's what it says. And then it says that they're looking down at each other, right? Is that what it says? Feet away from the cliff, looking up at your friend. Okay, so I'm looking up at my friend. There you go. Maybe I should draw a dotted line, because it's like the line, like what I'm looking at. Okay, draw a line to represent this line of sight. Draw a line to represent the line of sight from you to your friend. Okay, so that's it right there. Right there. That line right there, that's going to be our line of sight. All right. Now, there's two different angles that we're looking at right here. The first one is called the angle of elevation. The angle of elevation is always going to go up from a horizontal line. So this right here, this was the horizontal line right here, the line of sight from you. The angle of elevation would be going up like that. Elevation. It just makes sense. Elevation is going up. So we're going to say up right here. And then the other one is the angle of depression. Now this guy right here standing on top of the cliff, he's going to be the one with the angle of depression, because if he were to look straight off in the distance horizontally, he would have to look down to look at you, his friend. So we say down right here. So that's the angle of elevation and angle of depression. If we go on to the next thing here, it says, how are the two angles related? Let's look back at our picture. How are these two angles related? How is this angle related to this angle? Anybody? Yes, they are alternate interior angles. This angle right here and this angle right here, they are in between the two parallel lines. Now this line is parallel to this line. And you guys remember what this line is called? With the parallel line things? You guys remember what it's called? It's called a transversal. Very good. Okay. These are interior angles, and so is this angle right here and this angle right here, but we don't care about those right now. And we know something about alternate interior angles. What do you guys know about alternate interior angles? They are congruent. They have the same measure. That's what that means. When they're congruent, they have the same measure. Okay, let's go back to where we were. This says, how are the two angles related? And you guys wrote down alternate interior angles. And we could do a shorthand. And you could also say that they're congruent because they're alternate interior angles. If the angle of depression from the top of the cliff is 23 degrees, how high is the cliff? Well, let me put my picture back on the bottom of this page. So for this problem, let's just assume that you and your friend are the same height. Okay, so what is the height of our cliff? So that's going to be from, the bottom right here, right, to right here. Okay. But you're looking at your person's face, your friend's face, and so it's actually going to be from here to here. Now that's not going to answer my question, because the question says, what is the height of the cliff? But first, how do we put this 23 onto our picture? It says 23 degrees is the angle of depression. Okay, so we're going to go line of sight right here, the horizontal line, angle of depression, that's 23. Okay, so, but what about my triangle? How does this affect my triangle? Now, I might have to do this, to have my right triangle going on here, but let's just extend this so that this problem is easier for you newbies to do. Okay, so we have this right here, and this is, you know, where you're standing, and this is the top of the cliff. This right here is 23 degrees. What is what's the measure of this angle? You guys know the measure of that angle? What's the measure of that angle?
67.
Oh, 60 something? 67? Yeah, this right here would be 90 degrees. And so all you have to do is take 90 and subtract 23. If I take 90 and I subtract 23 from that, I'm going to get 67 degrees. So I could put 67 degrees right here. Is there anything else on this triangle right here that I'm missing that I can add to it? Am I missing any information? Yeah. What am I missing?
The missing angle would be 23 degrees.
Oh, you got this angle right here is 23 degrees. Very nice. Anything else that I'm missing? That actually wasn't what I was thinking about, but you are correct. What about that number right there? 500? Where's that 500 going to go? Right there. Okay, so I put 500 right there. And this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the height of my cliff. Alright, so if that's what I'm looking for, what is the trig function that I can set up to find x? Let's say we're going to use 67. I'm going to use 67. What's my trig function? Yes, Sam? Tangent. Tangent. What is tangent? Well, if I remember my cute little acronym, it says so, ga, to, suck a toe. Yes, so, toa. Alright, so I need opposite over adjacent because those are the two sides that are given to me. If I look at 67, I have the opposite, and I'm finding the adjacent. So I'm going to write tangent of 67 degrees equals 500 over x. Are there other ways to do this? Absolutely. You could have used this guy right here. You could have used this angle 23 degrees to help find x. If I used 23 degrees, what's the trig function I would use? Nobody knows? Come on, 23. Look, x and 500. This is the opposite side of 23. This is the adjacent side of 23. What would I use? Use tangent again. What? Yeah, you would. Okay, so to find the answer to this, we first have to get rid of this fraction right here. How am I going to get rid of this fraction? How do I get the x off of the denominator? So you multiply both sides by x, like that, and so you got something that looks like this. Let's see, we got x tangent, x multiplied times tangent of 67 degrees, and 67 degrees is inside a tangent. You don't have to have the parentheses. I just kind of like start, putting the parentheses there so I know it's inside of it. And then I have 500 on the other side. Okay, now my x is over here now. It was over here on this side. How am I going to get that x alone? What is being done to the x right now? Multiply by tangent. Okay, so how do you undo multiply? Yeah, I love it when you guys shout out the answer like that. So I divide by tangent of 67. I even love it if you're wrong and you shout out answers because that tells me something. Okay, that's really important. 67. Did I write everything right? Am I good? 67. Okay, yeah. So I have x equals 500 divided by tangent of 67. Okay, guys, try that. Punch that in your calculator. See what you get. 200 something? 212? 212 points what?
Like
2, 3. So we'll just say 2. And does that have a label or anything like that? Wait, wasn't this meters? It's feet. Alright, so we have feet right here, so that means this guy over here is feet. So I'm going to put feet right there and box my answer. Make sure you have the approximate sign because we did round in order to get that.